When is a chessboard not a chessboard? What has a pair of hairdresser's scissors got to do with anything? And invisible circles all play a part of the flag of Morocco. Welcome to the Flags in 50 Places.
Morocco is situated in the northwestern part of Africa. It has the Mediterranean in the north, the Atlantic to the west of it, and also borders Algeria and the disputed Western Sahara. So now I know where I am, let's explore this Western Arabic country, and more specifically Casablanca. First things first, the national flag. It's a red flag with the green pentagon in the middle, and it has profound meaning to the locals. It was first adopted on the 17th of November 1915, but it celebrates a national flag day with Independence Day every November the 15th. So that's the current national flag. What about previous flags? Well, for that we have to go back 1200 years. It was the westward expansion of the Islamic armies across Africa that led to the area flag being hoisted in 788 by the Idris dynasty, which was then just a plain white flag. Various add-ons to this flag took place over the coming years until the mid-1100s, when it was completely replaced when the Almohad Caliphate took over and introduced this red flag with a checkered middle. While this checkered flag did have 64 squares and therefore would have been quite easy to play chess on it, it would have been completely sacrilege to do so, and no doubt would have resulted in some horrific disfigurement if you tried to recreate some strategic embattlement on the national emblem. In 1244, the Miranid dynasty took over, and while they kept the red of the flag, they removed the chessboard that's not a chessboard. Maybe they were more of a playing cards family. They replaced it with a golden border and an 8-pointed star derived of 2 squares put together. When the Miranid rule ended, the flag stayed for 2 more dynasties. During this time, occasionally local symbols would appear, such as the Sword of Ali or the Hand of Fatima or the Crescent and Stars, and some would be Berber-based, which long predate Islam itself. I have to mention that at some point this Berber, not Berber, style of flag appeared. In fact, there were many variations of it. Not that I need, obviously, of Berber. Anyway, moving on. In 1666, while London in the UK was on fire, the Alawite dynasty took over and reintroduced the plain flag, but this time it was red instead of white. What makes this family different to others is that they're said to be direct descendants of the Islamic prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Fast forward to 1912, when Morocco is under the French and Spanish rule. Local flag traditions are heavily restricted, and the plain red flag, which had been around for hundreds of years, was modified for the French on the 17th of November 1915. This is when the ancient pentagram known as the Seal of Solomon appears. Now, each of the 5 points represents the 5 pillars of Islam and has a very different meaning to other 5-pointed stars that appear on different flags, such as the United States, for example, just to get a different flag in this episode. It was designed by Moulay Youssef, the Sultan of the Alawite dynasty, who ruled between 1912 and 1927. However, the northern Spanish-controlled area of Morocco used a different flag to that of the French-controlled area, who used the Youssef design. The Spanish Protectorate had a number of flags during that period. They started off with a red square that they used between 1912 and 1937, and then this civil flag with this white hexagonal star in the green canton, and the merchant flag similar but with more recognisable yellow pentagonal star in the large canton. We could go into real detail about all the personal flags that were used in the area at the time, but let's just move it on. Morocco continued to use, some think controversially, the French design version of the flag when independence was called in 1956 and Sultan Mohammed V returned from exile. Morocco itself is split up into 12 regions, and each of those regions have its own flag. Well, I could here now describe each of those flags in great details, but what I have done instead, though, is teamed up with fellow vexillologist Ryan, who has his own channel, Resto, on YouTube, where he does flag animations, and he's very kindly put those 12 flags into an animation ready for you now. Thanks to Ryan again for that montage, and you can check out his ever-growing YouTube channel, Resto, where there are loads more flag animations available to see. Right, moving on. Another interesting fact about the Moroccan flag is that if you look really close, you won't be able to see the invisible circle that goes around the pentagon. Now, pay attention. If you have a look carefully, it's supposed to be 1/6 of the flag length, and you can pinpoint this circle because its centre is intersections with the invisible diagonals of the flag itself. And if you don't believe me, you can check out the Protection of the National Symbols Act 2005, Article 4. Style of the pentagram is up for discussion, as some flags have it as interlaced, others with a solid, and others with a fimbriation or an outline. Now, if we take the Ethiopian pentagram style, for example, we can see that's very defined and very different from the Moroccan style. Although I'm not quite sure what the relevance of that is here, but it's an excuse to get a different flag into this episode. Finally, when it comes to national mourning, most countries have their flags flown at half-mast. But in Morocco, they have their flag at the very top, but it's tied up so it doesn't actually fly. I do like the Moroccan flag. It has a uniquely distinctive, separate style compared to other Arab flags. But its symbolism still harks back to its Muslim heritage, which I think then links back to the wider Arab community. Thanks for watching and bon voyage!